2, and go.
Well, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us for this Lunch and Learn. My name is Angela Poe Russell. I'm the co-host of a show called Evening. But today I'm just going to have some great conversations for the next 30 minutes with some people I can't wait for you to get to know. My relationship with Goodwin Connections goes back for some time. I am inspired by the work that is being done. And if you are a regular, you know this organization, I'm glad you're here to hear some new stories. And if you're new, come on in, because this is just such a worthwhile cause and you're just going to meet some amazing people. Speaking of that, I'd like to introduce them. First, Rachel Sanchez. She's the Program and Community Outreach Manager for Goodwin Connections. And then our student parents, our stars, we have Briana Queen and we have Feny Dye. And Feny, by the way, is joining us in between her classes. So that's why she's actually in a library. So you may have to see her pop on her mask here and there. But we just appreciate you taking time out and juggling your busy schedule so that you could be here with us today. I think the main reason why this organization means so much to me is because you are not only supporting a person trying to go back to college or go to college for the first time and, achieve their educational goals, but you're also helping the next generation because their kids are having access to preschool and early learning opportunities. So we're glad that you're here to support Goodwin Connections. I want to kick things off with Rachel, again, the Program and Community Outreach Manager. Rachel, how unique is this Goodwin Connections program, the Family Connections program?
Thanks, Angela. The Family Connections program is really one of the only programs in the Puget Sound region that specifically focuses on those unique needs of college students who are also parenting young kids. So we really act as an extension of our student support system to ensure not just their success, but also the success of their kids getting that early childhood education opportunity, like you mentioned. So I'm sure you understand that every student situation is very different, but the one thing I really want people to know is the main thing our students have in common is their passion and their dedication, not just to their education, but to their family. And so our goal is really to meet them where they're at, but then also to get them to where they want to go, whether that's an engineer, a nurse, a social worker, but just making sure that getting to them to that graduation finish line and setting up that place of financial stability. So as I'm sure you can appreciate, COVID really threw everyone for a giant loop, especially student parents. So we're going to be expanding some of our services to meet the needs of those parents who are starting out early in their careers. Our partnership with a new organization called Success Cohorts is going to help some of our students provide a softer, more successful landing for the kickoff of their career. So we're just really, really inspired all the time of all of our student parents and what they can squeeze in to 24 hours in a day. So thanks for being here.
And that's the perfect transition because we're going to get to hear about that in just a moment. So Briana, why don't I start with you? Tell us about, because for those who haven't met you before, what are you studying in school? Tell us about your family. What is life like for you?
Yeah, so I have a 6-year-old daughter. Her name is Scarlett. I'm also married. My husband and I decided a couple of years ago when we were transitioning from the military to go back to school. I started at Pierce College in the ADN program, and I'm now in the BSN program at University of Washington, Tacoma. So
nice. And what about you, Feny?
Hello, everyone. So my name is Feny. I'm a single mom. I'm from Indonesia. So in the US, it's just me and my daughter. So right now I'm going to school at Edmonds College, and I study computer science. Thank you.
And Feny, what is daily life like? If we were to have a day in the life following Feny around, because you have all of these different roles, what's daily life like?
So my daily life is like today I wake up at 3 because I need to watch the lecture, prepare for my classes during the day, and pack for school, pack for my daughter's lunch and stuff, and just head off from my home in West Seattle to Edmonds College. And I usually, I drop off my daughter at 8, and we finish school around or work at 4, and then we head home.
You finish it, so your day starts at 3 a.m. and then you get home at 4 p.m. And then you're not
4 is I pick her up from school and I'm just done with work.
Yeah, that's third shift because then you have to do dinner and all of that.
Yes.
That's a lot. Yeah. Briana, what's your day like?
Fortunately, right now I'm still on summer break, but when I'm back in school, it starts pretty early too. We get my daughter ready, and then I usually start studying from there, depending on the exam week or how much lectures we have. I start early in the morning, and then we do our classes in the afternoon. So I'm in classes probably from 3 to the evening, early evening, like 3 or 8. And then from there, we're getting my daughter ready for bed and just studying some more, and then right back to it the next day.
There's no doubt. I mean, when people hear how long the days are, what keeps you going? Like, what keeps you going, Briana, and staying focused on your goal?
Definitely my daughter, for sure. I grew up with a single mom, and being able to do something for her is definitely the driving force. Being able to create a foundation for her to set her up for success has been the prime motivating factor for me to continue, because especially in the nursing program, it's so intense. There's so much studying. You're juggling clinicals, taking tests, and even going into lab to do skills. So she's definitely my motivating factor there.
What about for you, Feny? Would you mind sharing? What keeps you going on those tough days, these long days?
Oh, like Briana is, I think, our princesses, right? Our daughter, it keeps us going, definitely.
What are you hope she's seeing in you?
So my hope is for her to also go to college one day when she turns 16, 18, to go to college and just have better future, have a head start, which I think Goodwin Connection really have helped me a lot, because now they have like this 4 years old, have a good foundation going to preschool and everything. So.
Yeah. Both of you have just mentioned all of these hats that you wear and how long the day is. When you think about it all, what is the most challenging piece of being a student and a parent and all the other hats that you wear? Feny?
So I think, the hardest thing of being a student parent is juggling time, right? And sometimes as a parent, we want everything to be perfect, right? So, but there's no perfection, that sometimes you have to do what you got to do. Sometimes I feel, even especially during the pandemic, right? And I used to work from home until recently, and my daughter was at home. Sometimes I have to put her on screen. I feel really bad, and because I just have to study or I have to work. But sometimes I will beat myself up, and I will tell myself, I do my best and it will be fine. So yes, don't fall for perfection.
Those are wise words for everyone to kind of take to heart. Briana, what about for you? What's the most challenging part of your dual roles?
I'm definitely with Feny there. It's definitely that feeling of that unequal balance. When you're in school, school expects so much time from you, and you're trying to do your best and learn the best and to know all this information. And in nursing school, it's a lot of information, a lot of complex material all at once. And so you feel this guilt almost all the time of, are you doing enough? Are you spending enough time? Or are you doing the things that you're supposed to be doing as a mom? And also trying to get the grades that you need to get and to know and absorb all the information that you need to not only be a good parent, but also to be a good nurse one day. So definitely that unequal time balance is definitely hard sometimes.
Yeah. So tell me, how did Goodwin Connections make a difference for you and your family?
Oh my gosh. So I've been with Goodwin for a while, and they have been so amazing. It's definitely giving that time back. For me, it was when you start your day so early and having that place to be able to take your daughter and know that they're going to be safe and they're going to have a productive day, and just giving us that time back to be able to put them somewhere where you have that solid foundation for them to learn and grow and be somewhere safe while you're able to go off. For me, it was clinicals, and for me, it was going to the hospitals, and just knowing that she had a safe place to be and having that, just that care for her during that time.
So without the grant, where do you think you would have been in terms of care for your daughter?
Oh my gosh, I would probably have to put it off maybe until she got a little bit older, to be honest.
Mhm. And we know the value of early learning. I mean, we know that because it's expensive. I don't know what city you live in, but I mean, it seems like anywhere in Pacific Northwest, it's really expensive. Yeah. What about for you, Feny? How did Goodwin Connections and the Family Connections program step in and make a difference for you?
So I just joined to the Goodwin Connection, like I think last year. But I mentioned earlier, I'm from Indonesia and I don't have like family here in the US. So when I have Goodwin Connection, they really have helped me with my daughter childcare. Now she can go to school and I can study and work. So yeah, it's really been amazing.
Yeah. And I can't recall how long each of your daughters has been in preschool, but tell us about their experience being able to be in a place where they're learning and around other kids. Feny, do you want to jump in?
My daughter loves her preschool so much. Yeah, she meets other kids. She plays like with them every day now. It's really great to see her socialize.
What about for you, Briana?
My daughter, she's in first grade now, so she's a little bit different. The other day I asked her and she's like, midday, I'm so tired. I wanted to go home. But yeah, she loves her being at school. She loves the social part and being able to be in person with her teachers has been really great.
Yeah. And speaking of that, what is the best? We talked about the challenging aspects of being a student parent and all the other roles that you have. What is the best part of where you're at? Do you want to go first, Briana?
Yeah, the best part about being where I'm at right now is being at the end. I just finished my NCLEX. And so the difficult, most challenging part is over. And just being able to accomplish something that you've been working for now, gosh, starting from my prerequisites, it's been almost 4 years now from when I started at the beginning. So just being able to have that accomplishment and finally be at the final piece of it has been great.
Mm-hmm. And what about for you, Feny? What is the best part about being a student parent?
Oh I'm so excited, by the way, for you, Briana. This is also my last quarter. So after this, I will be busy transferring to hopefully a 4-year university for computer science. So yes, like seeing the finish line and see all the work that you've been putting for the 2 years really inspires me. And for me, actually, because of our roles as a student parents, we are like working, we are a student, we are parenting. I think it really have helped me. The best part about that is I kind of practice time management. I kind of practice stress management and like learning skills, which I think are all really important, lifelong skills to be successful and happy for my career in the future. So yeah, the best part of being a student parent is having these multi roles and constantly being put in under pressure, kind of to perform the best still.
Yeah. And what has this, Feny, done for your confidence when you're able to see, you're here without other family members, you are going to school, you're doing it, your daughter's in school. What does that do for your own self-confidence?
I definitely become more confident. Every quarter that I accomplish, I become more confident that I can do this, I can do this. So, yeah.
Yeah, you're doing it. And Briana, what about for you? Have you noticed a change in yourself in terms of just being able to see what you've been able to do despite all of the challenges, despite all of the stuff?
Oh my gosh, definitely. It makes you feel like you can accomplish so much. You can tackle whatever faces you, no matter how difficult, no matter how hard, no matter how much time and commitment it takes. It makes you feel like you can do it, even though it can be the hardest thing.
For those who may watch this and let's say they're a parent and they're just thinking, oh, I would love to go to school, pursue a higher education, but I'm not sure how to do this because I'm a parent and how do I juggle these things? Is there any advice that you would give to someone who's been where you are in terms of being able to do this? Do you want to start, Briana?
Yeah, for sure. I've been there. I know what it feels like to be debating, oh, is it worth it? How long is it going to take? And I know if you're going into nursing, there's always that question looming. Are you going to get into a nursing program? Because it's so difficult and such a hard process. My advice would be don't ever give up and take one hard task one day at a time and just give it your best shot. I know for me, it's not always been perfect. There's been challenging and difficult times, but just take one day at a time, just keep going and do the best you can. You can do it. You are worth it. Your family is worth it. And most importantly, like your child and putting that foundation is completely worth it.
Well said. Feny, did you want to add to that?
Yes, that's really beautiful, Briana. Yeah. So what my tips is, yes, don't give up, go for it. If you're thinking to apply for school, definitely do it. It's good. You know that it's gonna better your life, it's gonna better your family's life. And what tips do I have is build connections. When you're in school, build connection with your teachers, with your classmates, form study groups, because you surround yourself with people that have similar goals as you, and they will help you get your degree. And it will make college so much fun, and it's not always just stress. These people are there to support you. So it will make college fun as well. And of course, apply and support Goodwin Connections because they're great.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just looking at the impact it's had on both of you and your girls. And I just wanted to follow up on one thing you said, Feny, because you were talking about, it sounds like what you were saying is build your support network, right? I mean, at school. And when you shared about the time when your daughter had to be on screen or something because you're trying to balance all these, I have to imagine that during this process, sometimes those things will intersect or conflict, if you will. And do you just roll with it? I mean, the kid is on screen. I mean, how do you roll with it? What do you say about that when those things just collide?
Yes, sometimes, especially if I have to put her more than I wish, put her on screen, sometimes I feel stressed, but I have work to do. And so I get off at 4 and I try to spend time with her. And also I try to hang out with her on the weekends and definitely spend more time during the breaks. So school break is reserved for her, for family, and hang out with friends.
Yeah. And Briana, is there anything else you want people I just want to pause and just say, I really appreciate, I know how busy folks are and Zoom calls are hard, but being able to jump on and hear a perspective that's different than your own and hearing about the work that Goodwin is doing and the student parents that are impacted, we really appreciate it. And is there just anything, Briana, that you want people watching, listening to know?
I would say just give yourself grace. I know being a student parent is so hard, and there's those times where you just feel like everything is just coming in at once. And especially when you're getting towards the end of the quarter and it feels like you have 5 billion, just not enough time to do anything. It's just to give yourself grace. You're doing a great job. And all your hard work and effort is going to pay off. It's so much closer than you think it is. And just keep going. Yeah, for sure.
Anything else you want people watching this Lunch and Learn? Anything else you want them to know, Feny?
Yes, be kind to yourself. Don't fall for perfection. As long as you do your best, you'll be fine. It's just a couple of years, and you only will suffer a couple of years. After that, it will be great.
Yes. And Rachel, I just want to bring you in a minute because you were talking, the word you used was passion about the student parents. And it's just so spot on. I mean, not only do you see that with Briana and with Feny, but every year when I've had a chance to meet student parents, you feel that same passion, that zest for wanting more for themselves, wanting more for their kids. It's consistent, right?
Absolutely. Yes, I couldn't agree more. I mean, that's what drives me to do my job every day and show up for our students is it is that passion. They're choosing every day to go to class, like Feny said, to wake up at 3 a.m.
Mhm.
to squeeze in those clinicals, like Briana said. So they are making these conscious choices because to them, it's not just a job. It is a career that's building a future for their family. And they're committed to it, they're passionate, and they're making it happen. So I love seeing all of our student parents be successful. And it's fantastic because it's interesting because they say like, oh, thank you so much to Goodwin Connections, but I'm not the one doing their homework or getting up at 3 a.m. to study or watch a lecture. They're the ones putting in that hard work and it is paying off for them. So it's just fantastic to sit back and be a spectator that gets to be a very small piece of their success. So I love it.
Yeah. So before I let you go, Briana and Feny, I'd love to just hear from each of you. What's your highest goal for your career? So Feny, why don't I start with you? Where do you see yourself when you're all done?
When I'm all done, in the long run, I want to have a startup one day. As a computer science, I want to have a startup. So
I can't wait to see what you do. Awesome. What about you, Briana?
Gosh, probably finishing my master's and then maybe being able to teach one day. Yeah.
Very good. Well, thank you so much for sharing your stories with us. I think we feel inspired, and both of you could have a future doing some motivational speaking work because I definitely think you did a great job with that. So Briana and Feny, can't wait to see what you do next. And Rachel, thank you for sharing a little bit more about the Family Connections program. A couple of things. I don't know if you have the number, Rachel, but I've been part of this for several years now. I know that this program has helped so many student parents, and we want to keep doing that work, and we want to help more achieve their dreams. So if you'd like to help, as I understand it, there's supposed to be a button on the right side of your screen. So you can donate, you can make a difference. You could be the piece of that puzzle that helps someone. You're removing a barrier is what you're doing. You're removing a barrier so that they can get to where they want to be. So we would just ask you to donate and give what's meaningful to you. And I know that we would definitely appreciate that. A couple of other things. We're not done because this was just the 30-minute lunch and learn, the teaser. There are more stories that we want to share about all of the great stuff that Goodwin Connections is doing. So we're having happy hour. And auctioneer Fred Northrup is going to be joining me. So it's this Thursday at 5:30 p.m. So join us for that. So not only will I be there and Fred, but it's going to be Dr. Daria Willis, the president of Everett Community College, as well as Washington State Senator Claire Wilson. They're going to share about creating inclusion and access to higher educational opportunities for parents. And of course, the importance of quality childcare, those early learning opportunities that has been well documented make a big difference down the road. So join us this Thursday for that. Donate what's meaningful to you. And most of all, just thank you. Thank you for taking the time to be with us, to learn and to listen. So have a great day, everyone.